So welcome to my first thoughts on Ys 10 Nordics. Yes, you heard that right. It's not the North American version because that's not out. I imported Ys 10 right here and it showed up about a week ago and I've been playing it and I want to come in and give some spoiler-free impressions of the game, what I thought about it. And for a lot of you out there, you'll be like, what? You imported this game in full Japanese? You speak full Japanese? No, I don't. But I've been importing Ys games for years and playing them. They're very easy to get through. Even if you don't know a lot of Japanese, I did it with Monstrum Nox here, had a really great time with that. And I couldn't resist. I'm such a big Ys fan for many of you out there who know that. I will ask you guys, are you excited about Ys 10 Nordics? Let me know down below. Ever since this has been announced, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. We're at Ys 10. Can you believe it? The first Ys game I played was 35 years ago on the Sega Master System, and we're back again. And this game that I played is on the PS5. There's also a Japanese PS4 version and a Switch version, and I'm sure in the future there'll be a PC version as well. Now, to begin with, you can pick your difficulty levels, and just kind of like past Ys games, there's easy, normal, hard, nightmare, and inferno for the crazy people out there that like a little bit more challenge. There's so many options here for difficulty. Here's the bit that I want to start with, the story. And for a lot of us Ys fans out there, it's like, where does this story take place? How does this fit into the timeline? It's ridiculous. So this one takes place right after Ys Book 2. Yeah, so we're dealing with a younger Adol. He's about 17 years old, and he's making his way over to Celceta, a place that we know very well in the Ys series. And he ends up in Obelia Bay. Now, this is a big section of water with a lot of different islands populating it. And while he's out there, he gets entangled into another group called the Normans. And they're realistically are sea pirates, and he runs into one of the main pirates who's called Karja. She's a female pirate. And I won't get into too many details, but Adol teams up with her to fight against some of the evils that are threatening the Obelia Bay. So next up is graphics. How are the graphics in Ys 10 Nordics? Are they going to blow you away? Is it a AAA game? The answer is no and no, but what is there works, and it works for an Ys game. For many of us who have played the Ys series over the years, we kind of know what to expect, right? You know, so you're expecting a game from Falcom that's got great play mechanics, and sometimes not the greatest graphics. Sometimes you'll get a hit with the textures and things like that. There's not a lot of detail at times, but I gotta say this, the graphics are made up for by the frame rate. On the PS5 version that I played, I haven't played any other versions, I was really blown away running around how smooth everything was and how detailed Adol's character was, especially in combat, especially when you get into Fast and Furious combat there. It's really nice and it feels really smooth. So you kind of get a hit with the graphics to take in the frame rates. And I gotta be honest here, I played so many Ys games, I went in expecting this level of graphics. And I gotta say, I'm not upset. I really enjoy going through the dungeons and fighting some of the monsters and some of the outside world. I thought it was quite beautiful. To me personally, I don't think everybody's gonna feel that way. But remember one thing, I'm an Ys fan, and so I'm gonna let a few things slide. And why I'll let some of the graphics slide is because it's always made up for in the gameplay. And this is not a disappointment here for sure. And we're looking at an action RPG, which is the series has always been, and it does not disappoint at all. And so the funny thing is yes, Adol comes into the main town, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, he's getting off a ship on his own? He's not washing to shore like in other games, you know, waking up going, where am I? What land is this? He actually walks off a ship and gets into the town on his own. So Adol comes into the town, he meets up with Karja, they team up, and they start defending the town against some monsters that are invading. And so you go around and do all that, you talk to all the characters, and that's one thing I want to say is, yes, like past Ys games, especially 8 and 9, there's a lot of dialogue, and it doesn't matter if you speak Japanese or English, there's a lot of dialogue to go through. And I was using the auto translate that I have on my phone to get through a lot of this game.
すみません、イブリーズさんのお宅。
いやいや、気にしなくていい。
And you're fighting monsters, defending the town itself. And what's cool here is, what I really enjoy is, Karja is the only other character in the game that you're controlling, at least for me at this point in the game. And what I love is that you can solo it, or you can switch characters back and forth, or you can team up and do combo attacks. So there's just combo attacks where you're kind of linked with this kind of beam that connects you both, allowing you to do more damage on the enemies, or you can do combos as you're connected as characters, and those can be quite devastating and create a lot more damage against the enemies. And I love that. I gotta say, the hack and slash is back, and it's awesome. It feels like classic Ys games. You feel really at home, running up and just getting into combat after combat, hack and slash after hack and slash, grind after grind. It feels fantastic and very rewarding like past Ys games. The classic roll is back. You also have the jump mechanic is also making a return. You can also dash forward a little bit, and you have your speed run. And this is something that's the first thing I look for. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a speed run. Thank God for that, because you'll be doing a lot of running through levels and you just don't want to be sprinting or just trying to do the roll every time. And you have a grappling hook in this game, which is always a great thing in an Ys game. And I love doing it, especially a little bit later on into the game that I got into. It's like Spider-Man. You're just swinging from ledge to get you into new areas. And you can also use the grappling hook to grapple into enemies faster. So you grapple onto them, it sucks you right to them, and you just start hacking and slashing them and doing damage. And besides the grappling hook, there's also the skateboarding mechanic. I call it the skateboard myself, even though it doesn't have any wheels on it. It's really cool to be skateboarding through certain levels. I like that. It's just another play mechanic that they're adding on, kind of like a surf mechanic, and really welcome into the Ys series. It kind of fits, and it's totally fine for me. I was a skateboarder back in my heyday, so to see Adol on a skateboard, I mean, I've been playing the game since I was a young guy, so to see Adol skateboarding like I used to feels really fitting. Now, the really big new feature here that we've never seen in an Ys game, go figure, Nordics, right? Is the control of your own galleon, your own ship on the sea. And I was so excited when I finally got to that point in the game. I'm like, this is incredible. Adol is finally in control of a ship he's controlling, and we're going to like mysterious islands and things like that. And I'm like, this is awesome. This is a new play mechanic that I really love. Yes, it really reminds me of Wind Waker, especially when I was just sailing there forever. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we're just kind of sailing to that island. And yeah, you can speed it up so you can go a little bit faster. You can change your camera angle and all that. So that's kind of fun. So there's that gameplay in there that will make you feel like Wind Waker. That's good or bad? For me, I think it's great. I can't wait to explore more islands with Adol. And it really gave me that exploration feeling. And I think they're really going to nail it. And as I was sailing around, all of a sudden, pirate ships start coming at me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I'm like, where's my auto translate? I'm trying to figure that out. And I'm like, oh wait, there's my cannonballs. And also I have some like fire cannonballs as well. I'm like, okay, I start moving my ship. I start firing my cannonballs. And I'm just totally nailing the enemy. And it's really fulfilling. So ship to ship combat is also a brand new thing in here. And it's really easy to control. I want to say that. It's not one of those things I start moving my ship and it starts moving weird angles. I start moving over, I start shooting my cannonballs and taking them out, and it works flawlessly. Yeah, ship-to-ship combat is really cool, and I'm sure you'll be able to upgrade your ship in the future, add more weapons onto it. But for what they had right now, I was pretty much in love with this section of the game, and I want to do even more of it. How is the music? I haven't even talked about the music. It's fitting. Is it standing out to me like past Ys games? Certain tracks do, yeah. It's giving me the Monstrum Nox feeling where the music is very good, but it's not quite Ys 8 yet, right? We're not quite Ys 8. And that's something else I'll kind of bring up is This game reminds me of everything that I liked in Ys 8. And you'll say, what is that? I like the pirate environments in 8. I always thought that they were fantastic. I love Ys 8. I've said it was a 10 out of 10 game for me. So this game is a return in a way that Ys 9 wasn't. In Ys 9, you start in a prison, and later on, you're able to finally get out of that prison and venture out a little bit, where this game gives you a feeling of exploration almost right away. You get to the island, you're running around, fighting monsters, and then before you know it, you're piloting your own ship, getting into ship-to-ship combat. It's giving me that Ys 8 vibe. You know what I mean? Just with the pirates and the exploration and the water. I think that's what's doing it, and some of the beach levels as well. So it really feels that you're in the outdoors exploring, and that's only a great thing. So yeah, you can tell I'm having a good time with Ys 10, and it feels amazing to be playing another Ys game. I could play a brand new Ys game every single year, without a doubt. I'm always up for a new Ys game. I'm really happy I imported it. I'm not recommending it to everybody, because yes, there's a lot of story elements that I'm not getting. I know I'll get it in the North American version and all that, but I get the gist of what's going on. And I've always got the gist whenever I import these Ys games, even when I imported Ys 4 back in the day. It's great to see, Adol and Doji back together, exploring around, going off on another crazy adventures. I mean, how many adventures has Adol gone on now? Quite a few, and I've been there for all of them, and I've enjoyed all of them, and I'm enjoying my time with Ys 10, that is for sure. So are you guys looking forward to the game when it's brought out here in North America? Or did some of you do what I did? Did you import it? Are you that crazy? I'm that crazy. I've always been, and I always will be, for the Ys series. So anyways, guys, until next time.